Hello, Bloomington. I'm Mayor Tim Busse, and this is the Council Minute for the week of September 13th. If you are a regular viewer of the Council Minute, you'll recall that a couple weeks back, I shared quite a bit of information with you about our budget discussions for next year. This week, we continued that conversation before adopting a preliminary budget and tax levy for 2022. On Monday night, the City Council approved a preliminary tax levy increase of 2.75%. I say preliminary because we won't approve the final budget until December. At that time, we can lower the levy in December, but we can't go any higher. Based on the information we have right now, that preliminary number of 2.75% is the lowest preliminary levy increase among the peer cities in Minnesota that Bloomington typically compares ourselves to. We will be holding community engagement sessions on October 20th and October 27th. At those budget info sessions and roundtable discussions, we'll share much more information about the budget, and you will have the opportunity to tell us what you think about the services you value and what you'd like to see in the city's budget. We'll make sure to remind you when we get closer to the meeting dates, and I look forward to seeing you there. Back in 2016, the City Council adopted a strategic plan that included sustainability as one of the pillars of that plan. Now, sustainability is a broad topic, but one of the driving concerns for the Council was climate change. The Earth's climate is changing, and Bloomington is located on planet Earth. Changes in the Earth's atmosphere caused by greenhouse gases are creating problematic weather trends like more extreme rain events, warmer winters, and an increased likelihood of extreme summer heat. Climate change threatens the health of community members, the environment, and the economy. The buildings in our community play a big role in the local greenhouse gas emissions that ultimately drive climate change. The electricity and natural gas used to fuel our buildings are the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions in the city. Now, with that in mind, Bloomington's Energy Action Plan outlines a goal of reducing those emissions by 75% by 2035. Well, this week, the City Council took significant steps to meet this goal by adopting two energy disclosure ordinances. The first ordinance, a time of sale energy disclosure, makes home energy performance a point of conversation during the buying and selling process of any home. Now, take a step back here. If you're selling your home, the City of Bloomington currently requires a time of sale inspection. Bloomington has been requiring that for years, and it's no different than hundreds of other cities in Minnesota. What the new ordinance does is require that information about a home's energy assets now be collected and included in that inspection. The energy assets in a home include the heating and cooling system, the water heater, wall and attic insulation, and the windows. That data collected will be used to generate an energy disclosure report and rating. Now, the rating provides a simple way for a potential home buyer to compare home energy performance on a 0 to 100 point scale. The rating scale has been designed with Bloomington's existing housing stock in mind, so it's possible that every home could reach a score of 100 through some cost-effective improvements. The report lays out simple and prioritized next steps for homeowners. It provides information on the cost and potential energy savings of any improvements, and it lists resources available to help. Now, I want to stress here, and this is very important, these improvements are not required. They're suggestions to improve energy efficiency, but no improvements or no upgrades are required of any homeowner. The goals of the time of sale energy disclosure are to provide potential buyers with information so they can understand a home's energy consumption and cost prior to purchasing a home. We also want to provide the city with information so we can identify residents with high energy bills and connect them with resources that might help them cut those costs. And we're looking to improve community health and, of course, reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Staff is working to roll out this time of sale energy disclosure program on April 1st, 2022. Until then, they'll be working with realtors, they'll be training inspectors, and of course, developing and implementing a comprehensive community outreach campaign so everyone understands this program. The second energy ordinance adopted on Monday night is large building benchmarking. Energy benchmarking is the ongoing review of a building's energy performance to ensure a building is using natural gas and electricity as anticipated, both over time and relative to peers. Just like gas mileage helps drivers better understand vehicle efficiency, benchmarking gives owners and occupants insight into a building's energy performance and helps identify opportunities to reduce cost and waste. The city's large building benchmarking program will require annual tracking of energy use for commercial, multifamily, and public buildings larger than 75,000 square feet. It will also require publicly disclosing high-level benchmarking metrics once a year. There are about 200 buildings in Bloomington that meet the program's size and use requirements. The city will provide benchmarking training workshops for building owners and property managers prior to the first reporting date, which is June 1st, 2022. Both energy disclosure programs demonstrate the city's regional sustainability leadership. Bloomington is the second city in the state to have time of sale energy disclosure and the sixth to have a large building benchmarking program. Thank you to the Sustainability Commission and to staff for their outstanding work on these efforts. In addition to the energy disclosure ordinances, the Council received an update on a new proposal for managing bulky items in a more sustainable way than our current curbside cleanup program. This past April, City staff and the Sustainability Commission asked for community feedback on a proposed plan for handling bulky items in Bloomington that would reduce the amount of materials being sent to local landfills. And boy, did the community respond to that request for feedback. More than 6,000 residents visited the Let's Talk Bloomington project page for the proposal. 1,400 residents completed a survey and more than 60 attended community listening sessions. Staff reviewed that feedback, conducted additional research, and ultimately developed a new proposal to incorporate what was heard. The updated proposal includes several different components. The first component includes holding a reimagined curbside cleanup event every other year. Items collected during this event would be more limited. Most notably, small items that can fit in a standard garbage cart would not be accepted. This type of an event would maintain convenience for residents, it would continue to allow for some reuse and recycling through rummaging, and it would divert those smaller items to our regular garbage collection for disposal at the Hennepin County Waste-to-Energy facility. The second component is a regular curbside pickup service for reusable and recyclable items only. Residents could call to schedule a pickup for items that may be reusable, such as gently used furniture or usable building materials. Regular schedule for these pickups would add to resident convenience, and it would provide a second life for a lot of still usable items. The third component includes an annual drop-off event for recyclable materials. Here we're talking about items like electronics, scrap metal, tires, or small engines. The annual drop-offs would be open to all Bloomington residents. And an additional component, and here's one that I really like, would include holding swap events where residents could exchange certain types of items like sporting goods or toys or gardening tools. These events would promote reuse of these items and provide a great way for people to find that next size of ice skates or a new planter for the front yard. Again, these events would be open to all Bloomington residents. Overall, we heard from folks that we need to provide more information about how and where people can reuse and recycle items instead of just throwing them away. We are absolutely committed to getting better information out to the community about those opportunities. I like this new proposal because it incorporates what we heard from you. It provides many different options for people to get rid of items that have outlived their useful life, but it also puts a greater emphasis on reuse and recycling and keeping items out of landfills. The proposal was brought forward as an informational item at Monday night's council meeting. The Sustainability Commission will discuss their proposal at the September 21st meeting. They'll likely provide some recommendations, and it will return to the council at the end of the month for further discussion. That will do it for this week's Council Minute. A quick reminder, it's an election year here in Bloomington, and early voting starts on Friday, September 17th. You can vote in person at Civic Plaza Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The ballot includes both City Council and School Board. Visit the city's website or call the City Clerk's office for more information. Thank you much for watching. Until next time, stay safe, Bloomington.